Good evening and welcome to our Path to Promote Week 4. Our call this week is on finding success through Heritage Makers workshops and being able to become as successful as you can by connecting with new people and letting your new people know that the way to grow their business is truly through holding workshops. So here we go. And this is our training call tonight for leaders. And you can also send us out to your consultants, but there'll be a few things in it that will be specifically for those who are listening to it and will be training on it. So let's go ahead and jump in tonight. So first of all, we have our recognition. So congratulations to all who sent their goals and feedback to their upline leader. Make this week one of action as you work the Path to Promote plan. So it's so important to recognize those in your Path to Promote program that are accomplishing, even little things. Even if it's just 1 or 2 clubs that week, that's awesome. That's progress. And those are customers and clients that they'll be able to work with and to be able to talk to about the business in the future. It's just really exciting. So go through and make sure that you hit all of these different types of recognition as you go through each week on your Path to Promote trainings. So congratulations to Path to Promote consultants who sponsored during the week. And then I think this is really important, and we've added this slide, workshop recognition. Those who are holding workshops and closing workshops, have them make comments on the call. Have them be the one that you're doing the mentoring with live on your call so that they can give feedback and real experiences from their workshops. Parties and workshops are fun. They are such a great place to meet people, and they can be your outlet as you do your Heritage Makers business. You also want to be sure and recognize those who have booked workshops for the next 4 weeks. New club recognition. Recognize how many new club members they have so far this month. You may have several that are in the 3 to 4 range and a couple that are over 5. If you are holding 4 workshops a month, not just booking, but holding 4 sales events that are workshops each month, you will have 10 clubs. Our new consultants are doing it. Our leaders are doing it. This is the way to grow your business. And then, of course, have some sponsoring recognition. So fun to welcome new consultants into your teams, but recognize those who sponsored them, those who went out and looked for those awesome new people and were able to sponsor them into their team. Recognition is so important. Recognition is repeated, right? Those are the things that all of us, recognition is important to all of us, no matter whether you're a new consultant or a leader. All right, so let's go ahead and start our Path to Promote training. Week number 4, finding success through HM workshops. So are you ready to grow? Oh, we have a funny thing in our slide. Okay, just ignore that. Are you ready to grow in your HM business? Are you ready to not feel stressed about filling that 10 new clubs and 2 new consultants? Are you ready to be like, wow, I have so many contacts, I don't know who to call first? Do you know what? Do you know how you do that? You do it through holding Heritage Makers parties, Heritage Makers workshops, same thing. That is how you do it, whether you're a leader like me or whether you are a new consultant. Now, so far in the program, we've done a few things. We have declared your goals. We talked to you about designing and dreaming your business. What is it that you want it to look like? And do you really believe that it can happen? And if you don't, what's stopping you? Get in touch with what it is that will drive you, what it is that will make that happen. You've outlined an action plan every single week. The beginning of this month, you outlined an action plan. How are you coming on that action plan? Is it just writing in your book, or are you actually working to make those things happen? And every week, have you been filling that in? Then we talked about the importance of filling your calendar, getting those bookings so that you can get in front of those new people and have those successful workshops. So what is the next step to having big success and great months every single month in your HM business? I bet you can guess. Holding consistent, successful sales events. And what we mean by that, ladies, are parties. Or we call them workshops, but it's a party, right? It's fun. It's come and look at the products, see the presentation. Let me tell you about club. Let me invite you to get started on those projects that you've been thinking about doing. And let me show you how I can save you money and time, and also tell you about something I'm really passionate about, which is the business opportunity, right? So holding consistent sales events every single week, okay? Okay. Oh, our little slide went crazy. Okay, where will you find your sales? The #1 place are at your workshops. at least 1 to 2 a week. They are free, they are duplicatable, they are fun, and when you get in the groove of doing them, they're easy to do. You prepare for them. Remember, we talked about being a polished professional consultant who's ready on the fly to talk to anyone, who has all of their stuff put together and ready to go do their workshops. So that on workshop night, it's not so chaotic. It's like, put your little things and bags in the car and off to your workshop. You're put together, you have fun, you enjoy the evening, you spend time creating relationships with those women and men that you meet, and you make some sales, and you find your new consultants. Other ways that are also very fun, but I don't think as effective, are one-on-ones. They are great, but it's better to talk to a group of 5 or 10 or 12 ladies, right, than it is to talk to just one person. It's not as good of a spend on your time, but it's still okay. That's great. I do lots of one-on-ones, especially for the business opportunity. Business to business. You're going to have opportunities to go and talk to businesses about how they can use our amazing greeting card system and direct ship, how they can design all of their client newsletters, how they can do a magazine to market to their business. You can have the opportunity to teach them about ways they can really exhibit what they do and showcase what they do through our books. Heritage Makers has a lot to offer to a business, so always keep your eyes open as you visit different businesses for who might be a great client and an opportunity to talk to them about what you offer. Online workshops. Now, some of you do online workshops. I only do those occasionally. I love person-to-person better, but virtual workshops are an awesome thing to do. And you can get your Facebook friends on and friends that live across the country, and your upline can teach you about how to do those. They're not difficult. Trade shows and booths. I think you should be doing at least 1 a quarter. If you're a new consultant and you're looking for new leads in your area and you're trying to get workshops booked, you might need an event, somewhere where you can go and showcase for a very nominal expense, a table or something where you can put your books out, talk to people about Heritage Makers, book some workshops, and get some cold contacts. Do some contacting so that you can grow your business. Local events, kind of the same thing as trade shows and booths, finding places where you can teach a class or go into a retirement center or do a digital class for a scrapbooking store. Be creative. Look around at opportunities where you can go in and do an event and get in front of who? New people, right? And social media. Don't get too caught up in Facebook and lose a lot of time, but be sure that you're posting on there about your business. Kind of a good rule is for every 3 posts that are personal, do a 4th. For every 4 posts, do 3 that are personal and 1 that's business. And then people start to go, oh, I see what she does. Oh, that's a really cute book. And oh, my goodness, I didn't know she did that as a business. And then share with everyone you meet. I'm getting ready to leave on a trip, and one of the most important things that I packed and spent time on tonight was I have my cute little tote, right, with my kids on it and my fun little tote that I was able to earn. And I have about 20 idea books with my business cards and 6 or 7 magazines with my business card attached and a couple of samples in that little bag, so that when someone says, oh, my goodness, your bag is so cute, I say, let me tell you about how I did it. And I can show them Heritage Makers. So where will you find yourselves? Number 1, workshops. If I could tell you anything, I built my business on parties, on workshops. We call them celebrations when I started in Heritage Makers. But, I was doing as many a week as I could and as many a week as my schedule could handle. I didn't let anyone tell me, oh, you can only do 1 a week or 2 a week. If I could book 4 or 5 a week, I would. And that's how many I would hold. Because I have a big why, and I wanted to be home with my kids, and I wanted to make this business grow quickly. So, set the speed of your business by how much time you have, but I'll tell you what, one of the best things that you can fill your time with are Heritage Makers workshops. So let's talk a little bit more about why workshops. Well, they are the fastest way to build a stable business, as I said, and to build your Club HM. Every time you have a workshop, you're in front of 4 to 5 to maybe 10 new people. And even, what our statistics are showing is those that are doing workshops consistently are getting anywhere from 3 to 5 new club members, at least 1 booking, and 1 to 2 potential consultants. Now, consultants a lot of times won't sign up on the spot. Don't be discouraged by that. The opportunity to give them some information, let them go home and think about it a little bit. Sometimes they have to make a project and really think about how this could fit into their life, and then they're interested. So they help you to build relationships with new clients. If you're using the Idea Book Workshop, it's so fun because you get to hear what they're interested in. They're talking about things that they want to make. And then as you do the close with them, some of us are calling it the triple play close. Thank you, Maureen Garrity in Arizona, where you sit down and you say, let's talk about, what projects do you want to do? Okay, that's the purchasing. Now tell me a little bit about, would you be interested in maybe doing the business? That's the business opportunity. Asking for referrals, booking a workshop, talking to them and building a relationship where you have an hour to maybe, even two that you spend with these new people that you're building relationships with. And they allow you to meet, sponsor, and train new consultants. One of the biggest things I have always done is take a shadow with me. Someone goes with me. So when I sponsor a new consultant and they're in my area, and I say, okay, I have a workshop next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. I want you to come with me. And they come with me, right? And they watch my new workshop, and they get a really good feel for how I do my workshops. Also, that person I probably met at a workshop, so they've already seen one workshop before they're even going to be trained. So they see what they will be doing. So someone who's interested in the business has already been to a workshop and goes, that was really fun and easy, and the presentation was fun, and I think I could do this. And then they become interested and sign up as a consultant. They help you to keep your calendar full with future bookings. The emotion, the excitement at a workshop, the chance to say, hey, I'd really love for you to get this tote or this canvas, or I'd love for you to be able to earn, more product for free because there's a lot of projects here that you want to do. Let's book a workshop. The chances of you being able to book a workshop at a workshop go up astronomically because they're excited and they're right there and they understand what a workshop is and they go, oh, I could totally do a workshop. And they book right on the spot. So why workshops? Because that's the best place to keep your booking chain going and to fill your calendar. And they allow you to share HM in a simple, fun, and very duplicatable way. When I first started, Doug Cloward, who was our president, said to me, Wendy, don't go out and spend a lot of money on advertising. Don't go, spend a lot of money on shows. Do the workshops, do the parties, because that is duplicatable. That is something that anybody can do, and then your team will be able to follow you and watch what you do, because it's not a huge expense. They don't have to go out and spend a lot of money to be successful in their business. And they are that should be together. They are inexpensive and offer a high return. So just what we were saying, they're duplicatable. They're most of the time, besides just a few supplies and whatever your hostess does for her dessert, they're free, and they're a great way for you to get together and show the product. So how important is a full calendar to successful workshops? Well, if you're sitting there going, nothing is happening in my business this month, you might want to look at your calendar because that's a good telltale of, why. Well, if you don't have sales events booked, you aren't going to be able to have workshops. So if you have to back up a little bit and go, okay, I have got to call. I have got to get on the phone and eat that frog and talk to people and say, hey, will you host a workshop for me? I'm trying to get my business going, and Heritage Makers is so cool, and I'd really love to come show it to you. It's easy to do it. I'll even bring the dessert, just, and get that calendar filled. And don't be discouraged when you have no's. You're going to have no's on hostessing. Some people don't want to do parties. So offer them other things. If they say no, ask for a referral. Well, do you have anybody that you know would like to do a party? Do you know anybody who's interested in this kind of stuff? Or, hey, can I come do a one-on-one? And you could just invite, like, your sister and your mom and a couple of friends, and we'll just do kind of a studio demo, like a little small, don't have to clean your house. You can even come to my house. Don't let it just go. Try to find a way that it will work for them so that you're able to get your calendar going. Because once you get your calendar filled, if you'll be protective of that booking chain and make sure at every workshop you get some bookings, you won't ever have to start from zero again. You will never be looking at your calendar going, oh, my word, I've got to fill this calendar. What is a full calendar? A full calendar in the Path to Promote program is holding 1 to 2 workshops a week. It's 10 and 2, ladies. This is not just new consultant training. This is not just the basics. This is, I want to be a director. I want to be a silver director. I want to be a diamond someday. This is, get out there and do as many sales events a week as you can. What will your schedule allow? Do you have 30 hours a week to work your business? Do you know how many workshops you could do in 30 hours a week? A whole lot. And if you can fit those in and it works for you, you will be amazed what you can do. as your business grows. So don't just be content with 1 or 2 if you want to build faster. If you want to hold 4, you need to book 6. You need to plan for cancellations, postponements, signing up a hostess as a consultant. You need to plan to have extra events so that you can still hit your personal goals, and you're going to have, and I'll tell you what, you guys, anytime a hostess wants to sign up as a consultant, and you don't get to your 10 and 2 that month because you signed up 2 new consultants, who cares? That is what you want to do in your business. Sponsoring is over the moon more important. You're going to get the clubs. You're going to get the clients. Most people are going to choose that, right? But if you have somebody who says, oh, my word, I want to sign up as a consultant, I love this, then I give them that workshop. I'm like, okay, this is your friend, your family, this is your first workshop. Let's see, can we make you a star on your first night? You bet. She can have 500 in sales, and you did the workshop for her. So don't be afraid of that, because that is going to get you your first leg towards hitting director. You are looking out for your team members. It's all about helping them, okay? Keeping your calendar full. Now that you have a full calendar, 4 to 8 workshops booked a month, right, because some of them are going to cancel, it's important to keep it that way. You need to set a goal at every workshop to book 2 more workshops, 1 to replace and 1 to build forward, okay? So important that you get that. At every workshop, 1 to replace the one you just had and 1 to build forward, okay? Use that Hostess Rewards booking incentive to encourage her to help you schedule 2 bookings. Don't just give it away. Say to your hostess, hey, look what you can get if you get 2 bookings. Because then she's already thinking about who in her group of friends that's going to come would probably be what Karen Phelps calls a party queen, somebody who likes to do parties, who probably would do a party. And so then she's probably going to be the one that asks them. You can say to her, hey, Carol, just, at the beginning of the workshop, just want to remind you, I want you to for sure get the 2 bookings, and I want you to not miss out on that gift. And she's going to be thinking about that the whole time. And she's going to help you, and that's why Heritage Makers has given you that, to book that workshop. You can even use your own publishing points. I do that all the time. One of the reasons I'm on Gold Club is so that I can have extra points to give away as an incentive, so that I can say to those that are, working in my little group, hey, if you guys sponsor, I'm going to give you 10 extra points. Or tonight at this, hostess's workshop, anybody that books is going to get 20 extra points. Whatever you want to do, you guys, it's your business. You can do little extra incentives that can help grow your business. Great hostess coaching. How important is it that you talk to that hostess and make sure she knows what's going on? Hallie Red and I had a conversation yesterday about this very thing, and how we have noticed such a huge difference in our sales and the success of our workshop if we really do actually spend time doing our hostess coaching. And I know that we get busy, and sometimes you drop off the packet, and then pretty soon you're like, oh, my word, I got to get back with her, and I haven't. And it's so important. If she has something she wants, if she's got her eye on doing some canvases, or she is interested in doing some books, or your hostess has to know what she wants and have emotional value attached to it. It has to be a product. It can't just be, oh, I hope I get 200 points. It needs to be, I want to do this book for my dad, or I want to finish my graduation book for my daughter, or I want to publish some canvases. She needs to be attached to what she wants, because then she will be all about making the sales happen. And it's important for her to know how much in sales she needs to get that. Does she need $400, $600, $800? What does she need to make that happen? Because really, you guys, when you have a successful workshop, 9 times out of 10, it's because you have a hostess that is engaged and understands and is helping you. So use the hostess coaching worksheet and the cards, okay, on every workshop. Don't miss a step when you're doing your hostess coaching. And build a relationship with your hostess. Talk about what it is that she wants and encourage her to get started on that project. If she wants to publish canvases, have her working on them so she's got them ready to go. When you close up that workshop and transfer those points, she's ready to go. And talk to her at least 3 times. She's excited about the workshop. She's not going to cancel. You want to help her to have a really successful one, and you want to keep her focused on what she's wanting, right? And always, you guys, I have never, ever had my hostess make the reminder calls. If she sends out the cards, that's fine. If you want her to do the e-bites, that's fine. But I make the reminder calls. I get her list of guests, and I'm the one that calls the night before, because I can say, hey, Cheryl, this is Wendy McGee. I'm a Heritage Makers consultant. I'm doing Carol's party tomorrow night, and I'm so excited to meet you. It's at 7 o'clock, and it's at her home, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing you there. Okay, have a great night. Okay, what happens when Carol calls? Hi, Cheryl, this is Carol. Oh, good, how are you? Oh, I know, my son, da-da-da-da. And before you know it, poor Carol has been on the phone with Cheryl, her friend. I don't know why I made those rhyme, but anyway, forever. And she is like, I have 25 more people to call. And guess what happens? She calls a couple, and she just can't get to the rest of them. It is my business. I want to know that every one of those people have been reminded. And I know that I'll remind them, because I'm going to take 25, 30 minutes at the most to make all those phone calls, and it's going to take her half her life, and she's not going to get through them. So always get that list, because that is that list is so valuable to you, because after the workshop, you can talk to your hostess and say, hey, I know so-and-so is going to come, really interested. And also, when you're making the phone calls, you're going to get this. Oh, you know what? I'm so interested in that, but we have scouts tomorrow, and I can't come. Oh, my word. Well, you know what, Beverly? I don't live far from you, and next Tuesday and Wednesday, I've got some openings for some one-on-ones. Can I just drop a catalog by and maybe just show you a couple things? Oh, sure, that'd be fine. Okay, you've got a one-on-one. There's an appointment to fill. You could make 10 of those off of the people on that guest list that are not able to come, that say, oh, I'm interested, but I've got dance that night, or I've got my kids' basketball game, or whatever. People are busy. A lot of times when you have poor attendance in the party, it's not because they're not interested. It's because they have lives just like you. So use your business brain and think of ways that you can still be able to get in front of that person and tell them about Heritage Makers, right? All right, it's showtime, you guys, the workshop. The Heritage Makers Workshop is fun and so easy to do. It is as simple as reading the idea book. Have you watched the video? Have you watched the training? Have you created your little master idea book with notes on every page? Just go right into Virtual Office, and you can print that off. You can watch the demonstrations by Diane Shamp. Fantastic. It's a 3-step process, okay? Your introduction. You introduce your hostess. You talk to your guests. You introduce yourself, the company, and the products. You're getting to know these people. You're telling them about your reason for being there, your favorite book that you want to share with them, right? And then you do the shop and share. They go through the idea book, and they see all these fantastic things that they could do. And they start getting ideas, and they're talking to each other, and you're having this fantastic little interaction, and people are getting excited about what they could publish. And then you close. You identify for them what is the best club for them to join, and then just invite them to book their own workshop and join your team. The triple play, right? Let's get an order, book a workshop, and invite them to be a consultant. And you know what? I'll tell you what. I might change that order a little bit. I would invite them to order, and then I would invite them to be a consultant. Because if they decide to become a consultant, then that next booking the workshop is going to be easy, because it's going to be their workshop that I'm going to be coming to help them to do. So, think about those 3 things: introducing yourself, introducing the product, shop and share, and then closing. It's not hard. It doesn't have to go on forever. You hand out the idea books. You make it simple. You keep it simple so that people understand and they get excited. And then you close. You help them to choose what they want. Okay? Don't miss important sales opportunities. Build relationships. Hear their stories and identify how Heritage Makers can help them. Listen during the shop and share. Listen when you're asking questions. They're going to tell you what they're interested in. You're going to be able to identify the grandma, the new mom, the crazy mom that's my age that's trying to, catch up on everything and all of the photos that she's been taking. You're going to identify the person who maybe isn't very happy in their job and is frustrated about some things in their life, and you're going to be able to say, hey, have you ever thought of doing this? I do this. I listened to my little Delaney, yesterday. She is 8, talking to her friend at the breakfast table. Her friend slept over. Super cute family. We're really close to her and her little friend, and I know her mom really good. And she turned to her little friend, and her little friend was talking about how they were having a hard time with money. And Delaney said, you know what? This is Delaney exactly. I'm going to just tell you the funniest story. So she's like, you should tell your mom to talk to my mom, and she should just do Heritage Makers, because my mom can totally get everything for free. First of all, she says, get her everything for free. And then she goes, and my mom makes really good money and is always home with me. Okay? I about started bawling. My little 8-year-old who, that is my whole why right there. It's totally demonstrated at the breakfast table by her telling her little friend, you know what, my mom would help you, or help your mom. My mom would help your mom get it for free. Of course, I can't get it totally for free, but I can do my best, right? And my mom makes great money and is home with me all the time. Okay, so how do I feel as a Heritage Makers consultant? Am I loving what I do? Am I passionate about what I do? Am I feeling successful about what I do? You guys, we have the best flipping business ever. If you're not out there doing workshops and sharing it, somebody needs to give you one of those experiences. Use mine until you have your own, because I'm serious. It is awesome. And you'll be able to talk to women and men that are looking for something and they don't even know what it is. And you can be the one to offer it to them. Help them to understand that this is the mission of our company, to help people to publish their stories, to connect with their families, and then more importantly, to be able to have those books for forever in their home, to be able to share for generations to come, and that there's a business that helps people to do that you can help other people to do that. And future bookings, talk all through your workshop about, all that the hostess receives and what she can work for, and let them know that there are great rewards when they book a workshop. And offer the business. How many times can you say, oh my gosh, I love my company, I love this business, it's so much fun, and we're a new company, I'm always looking for people to join my team, I love working with other, new people and teaching you to do what I do because it's so easy and so much fun. Talk about those all throughout your workshop. And then at the close, you have inspired them. You've instructed them on how to do this, and now you're motivating them. You're getting them excited about what they can do. So now you invite them to become your client, to get involved with club. And at the end of your workshop, you review the club program on the order form, tell them about the host rewards, invite them to host, invite them to think about doing what you do, and let them know that you want to meet with each one of them individually. It's hard to close a group. So you tell them about everything, you do all your stuff, and then you say, hey, I'm so excited to hear what you want to do. So I'm going to just meet with you each individually. Just take a couple minutes, and your hostess is right here. Carol's going to answer any questions that you have too, and you're going to sit with them, and you're going to talk with them for just a couple of minutes. You're going to get their order. You're going to find out if they're interested in being a consultant, give them a packet. And you know what? I have one consultant leader who said, I give everyone a business packet. I get their order, and then I say, you know what? I'm just going to give you this. I don't know where you're at in your life or what, you're thinking, but I would love to work with you. And I don't know if you've ever thought of doing this, but will you please take this packet and let me know what you think? Would you mind if I give you a call? You know what? She told me the other night, 7 of the 9 guests took the packet and said yes. 7! 7 potential consultants out there with her little packet. Now, you know what the odds are? She'll probably get at least 2 that will sign up as consultants. She might get more than that want to be hobbyists. But she could get a couple of great business builders just because she asked, right? Ask for the bookings. Ask them about the business. People join the company because somebody says to them, have you ever thought of doing this? I think you'd be great at this. I would love to work with you. If you don't say that to them, their chances are they're not going to join. But if you do that and you open that door, you never know who you're talking to. You have no idea what's going on in their life, what's going on in their home, why they're, what they're thinking about as you're doing your presentation. You need to do that. You need to give everyone the opportunity. Okay, this is your last chance, your individual close, right? This is your last chance to work with each of your guests. So this process must be quick, as I was saying. First, 4 steps. First, continue the relationship. Choose club. What are you going to do, right? Talk to them. What would be the best for your projects that you're thinking of? Second, invite them to do what you do. See, I think Patty added this. Okay, this is the order I would do it in. Okay, I would first offer them the business, or offer them the product. Second, I always will talk to them about the business. In fact, sometimes I talk to them about the business first because if I feel like there's a spark there, I want to hit that first. Third, invite them to host their own workshop. Booking chain, right? Booking chain, calendar. And if they're kind of iffy on the business, sometimes I'll say, you know what? Why don't you book a workshop? I'll come and do it for you. And if you love it and if you're excited about it after that night, all the sales will be yours. All the clients will be yours, and it'll be your first workshop. And you can become qualified and I'll do the workshop for you. What a cool thing, right? Okay, and fourth, always ask for referrals. This has been so fun to come and meet you tonight. Do you know of anybody else that you think would love this? Because a lot of them are sitting there going, oh, my word, my sister would love this, especially if they don't book. If they're like, oh, I really don't think I want to book a workshop. Well, tell me, did you think of anyone tonight that might? Because my business is based on referrals, and I would love to do this for one of your friends or family, sisters. Do you have anybody that you think of that would love this? And you know what? They always do. Oh, my mother-in-law takes a ton of pictures. She never does anything. So then you can call and say, hey, this is Wendy McGee. I'm a Heritage Makers consultant, and Carol did a workshop, or was at a workshop I did last night, and she thought of you and said that you would love this, and I wondered if I could drop a packet by and just let you take a look at it and see what you think. If nothing else, you could get a new client. You guys, work your business. Work the system. The plan works. Workshops work. If you are not doing this, if you are not working this program, that is why you're not having success. And this goes for anyone in this company, all the way up to me. Doesn't matter if you're a leader. Doesn't matter if you're a brand new consultant. It all works the same. It all works the same. So after the workshop, it's so important to leave a good impression. Send cards and communicate with your hostess and your new club members. Those people that have now committed to purchase from you, to be involved with Heritage Makers, follow up with them. Make sure they understand how to get on the website. I have a little card that I send to all my new clients. If I have someone who's a potential consultant, I'm following up with them the next day, getting an appointment, or I get an appointment that night if they're willing to do that. Follow up. Communicate with them. Then get back with your hostess so you can get the workshop closed. Close it as quickly as possible. And remember that guest list I told you about? That guest list is gold, you guys. That is so important. Follow up with the guests who didn't attend or needed a little more time, okay? And also talk with your hostess and say, hey, this was such a great workshop. Thank you so much. Let's get you all that we can and get your workshop closed. And then tell me about so-and-so. I know you said she was really interested. Do you think she'd be comfortable if I call her? Just use your manners, ladies. Be very cordial and just ask and let your hostess know that you respect her friends and family. And I promise you'll have an awesome experience with the kind of referrals that you'll get. I have hostesses that I will see a client sign up, and I have no idea where they came from. And I'll call the client, and they'll be like, oh, you did a workshop for, my sister-in-law, Terry, a year ago, and she told me about it. They've had this catalog, and I just decided, she told me you were really nice, or she told me that the products were really good, or she told me she had fun at the workshop, whatever her experience was. And now she has become, someone who is giving out your information to her trusted, she trusts you, and she's giving that to her friends and family. And then continue your communication with all your club members. Make sure that every month you're, making sure that you're on VL Plus if possible and sending the newsletter. Following up with those who are publishing. Spending, don't get so caught up that you're spending all your time on your current customers, but focus your time, balance out, carve out an hour or two a week that you spend following up with your current customers, making sure they're having a good experience. Talking to them about, other possibilities for what they could do with Heritage Makers. So, now overcoming objections. On occasion, you might come across some of the following objections. I use another company. These prices seem much higher than other companies. I need to ask my husband. I don't do parties. I'm not very creative. I'm not sure I can do this. We've all heard all of these, like tons of times, some of them more than others, right? So, how do you respond to those kinds of objections? You need to look at those questions and think about how you would respond. And I'm going to give you a way that I respond. I use a little trick that I learned from Virginia Dixon, and it's awesome. Like, it always works. And it just is 3 little parts that you say, okay? So they say, oh, my word, I use Snapfish. I use Shutterfly. I use Photo Bucket, whatever. They use something else. And you go, that is awesome. Okay? Positive, positive, positive. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. Okay? And then you go, because, did you know? Okay, so the first thing you say is, well, that's awesome. And they look at you like, what the heck? Why is she saying that? And then you go, did you know? And then you tell them something, right? So you're going to use, this is an opportunity for you to be positive. So if they said Snapfish, then I would say, that is so awesome. Did you know that because you're doing that, you're already creating books, you're already getting in there, that is so great. And then I'm going to tell them about why Heritage Makers is even better, or why they can do more, or they can, I'm just like loving the opportunity for them to, so any of these, that works. I use another company, the prices seem much higher than other companies. you know what, let me tell you a little bit. We believe in quality. And when you're on club, you can save so much. You know, really, there are so many savings. So look at these different objections and think about what you would say. And as leaders that are training this call, this is what I'm doing my mentoring on this week, is overcoming objections at workshops, how you can answer those objections so that people feel very comfortable about those. And if you look on Virtual Office under the training section for the workshops, Diane Schipp does a fantastic job of talking about some of these objections on her video there. So that's another really great place that you can do some training. So other sales events. Not everyone will host or attend a workshop. So like I said before, invite those guests to meet with you one-on-one and encourage them to bring a friend or family member along. I did one of these a couple weeks ago with a girl that lives just like down the street from me, and she had been interested in Heritage Makers for a while, but we just hadn't been able to nail down a time. And she invited 2 sister-in-laws and her mom, and 2 of them signed up for club. So, you know, that was just a little one-on-one. I got 2 new clubs out of it. Great little interaction. I showed them how to use it. They're all on making, you know, projects and working on things. These types of contacts are great fillers for your business and will increase your club memberships and income. There's, you know, if you're only able to have actual 2 to 3, you know, organized workshops during the month, or 4, you know, possibly 4 or 5, hopefully, right? But you can fill your time with these other things that you can get new clubs at, and you can get new consultants at, and you can have a lot of success with those. And always invite them to join your team and book their own workshop. Make sure that you don't leave out those important things that you're saying at the workshop when you're talking to people one-on-one. Make sure you're still asking them to host a workshop. Make sure you're still telling them, you know what, have you ever considered doing this? I would love to talk to you more about the business. Let me give you this, and you can take a look at it. We talked about on the call last week, selling it softly. You know, I think it's important when you are wanting to sponsor people that they need to be thinking, wow, I want what she has. Or, you know, they don't come off desperate. Be like, you know what, I love what I do, and I'd love to just give you this packet. Will you just take a look at it, and I'll give you a call in a couple of days? Give them a chance to breathe. Give them a chance to look at it, and then you follow up with them. Because if you're like, oh my gosh, I got to sign you up right now, that scares people away. And really, it's planting seeds and then giving the time and the follow-up. Follow-up is key. Following up with people, getting appointments to talk with them, inviting them to business opportunity events in your area, inviting them to get on the call, to watch the videos. You never know, right? Okay, awesome. You can always find some type of fair, event, or show going on throughout the year. As we mentioned, these are great ways to get additional leads and bookings. Things to watch for. Keep your event costs low. Okay? Find your target audience. If you got lots of people coming through, it doesn't matter what kind of a show it is, but it's always better to find a show that maybe focuses a little bit more on, for example, women's expos are excellent. That's a great thing. You know, we've done some really fun ones. We've done like the outdoorsman show, and because there's all these women walking through that are bored to death because their husbands are looking at all these other things. You don't have as much competition for people at those kinds of shows. But look for somewhere where you're going to find people that are going to be interested in this. And in our business, that's pretty much everyone. So, and the amount of time required to invest. Okay, so how much time can you spend there, and what are you going to get? What kind of a bang for your buck? So follow the Heritage Makers Success Plan. You guys, sorry, I need another Diet Coke tonight. 1 to 2 workshops a week equals 10 new clubs a month and 2 to 3 new consultants. If you are really doing 1 to 2 workshops a week, you're going to be getting this. It is tried and true. Party plan is proven, and it works. If you are doing the sales events, you will be getting the new people, and your business will feel vital. It will be moving. You will have a stack of contacts on your desk. You will have little 3-ring binders that you've put your guest list in, and you're calling, and you're always working those leads. Work this business. Work the success plan. Work the party plan, and you will have success. So let's see what's possible. In your little Path to Promote booklet, we put a few of these little consultant activity number sheets. And the one I'm going to focus on this training call is the 10 and 2. Because you're in Path to Promote, you are in the 10 and 2 program. You may not hit that every month, but if that is your goal and you hit 8 and 1, you are rocking it. If you hit 5 and 2 new consultants, If you hit 2 new clubs and 2 new consultants, I'm going to still be super happy. But 10 and 2 is what you are working for. Look at what kind of income you could expect to see after 3 years in the business. Okay? Look at that. Month 1, commission, $195. But if you consistently did 10 and 2 every month, by month 12, you'd be at $1,091.33, and you would have earned for the year $84.75. Okay? By month 24, you're at $1,216.20. You have earned $14,408.48. Okay? After that year's earnings. Month 36, $14,594.40. Okay? Now look down below. Okay, you're looking at commissions and probably going, well, that stayed the same. But yeah, that's okay because you're just maintaining your clubs, right? Check out your bonuses. Okay, look what's happening to your bonuses and the team building bonus. You are making, by 3 years in this business, $7,400 a month off your bonuses and $2,000 off your team building. And I would dare say $3,000 probably off team building because you've probably built to at least a gold director at this point, if not an executive. Total earnings a month, you're making $10,626.20. You made $85,000 that year. After 3 years in a direct selling business where you did 1 to 2 workshops a week, you have recurring income from club, which is amazing, and can be your worst enemy if you let it. If you let that club make you stall in your business, make you stop, then you're crazy, for one thing. But it's really tempting. You start getting 40, 50 clubs and you're making a good little commission. If you don't keep your pie in the sky out in front of you and your why out in front of you, you could stop and you could go, oh, I'm doing good. I'm making good money. But look what you could be making if you had set the goal for 10 and 2 every single month. Okay, and this is conservative. Like you could have months that you don't hit that and still hit this. But you're focused on that every month. It's consistently doing workshops every single month to get that kind of activity. Okay, all right, so leaders, now you'll go into your one-on-one mentoring with your consultants. And like I said, I would suggest finding someone who is doing workshops and who has questions and maybe would like to talk about some objections that they've had, whoever you want to mentor for this, but talking about having successful workshops. And then here's the homework for your teams for the week. Be sure your calendar is full and you are now holding all those workshops, 1 to 2 a week consistently. Watch the workshop demonstrations in Virtual Office. Be sure you are trained on the Idea Book workshop and ready to go. Follow all the Hostess coaching steps for each workshop. Hold 2 to 3 workshops a week for the rest of the Path to Promote program with a goal of hitting 10 and 2 each month. Okay, so we're stepping it up a little bit. We want everyone in Path to Promote to be working for 10 and 2. These are our future leaders, you guys. And those ladies that are out there doing workshops are having success. This is the way to do this business. This is the way to move it. And you need to be doing it as leaders, and you need to be training it as leaders, because that is the way to grow. Have a mentoring appointment with your upline director to go over workshop tips and to discuss having the most success at your workshops. Hit your goals and make it a great week. Now, at the end of this week, your consultants are going to need to go through their monthly action plan and see how they've done for the month, and then set new goals going into week 5. This is a good time to determine by the performance that they've had this first 4 weeks, where they're having challenges, where you can help them, and whether or not they're really on board for this program. It's important that you not be giving mentoring time to consultants that are not working the program. They need to be working the program. And it's okay to say to them, hey, when you're ready to work the program, I will be ready to mentor you, and let them do the business the speed that they want to, because there are consultants in your team that if you're working with them will be doing the workshops and they will be growing, and those are the ones that you want to spend the most time with. So, all right, and then go ahead and do your question and answer and close up your calls. All right, thanks you guys for all you're doing with Path to Promote, and have a great week. Bye-bye.